Yeah, I just cannot believe. Like, this is freaking unbelievable, man. Like, I never saw this coming, right? I mean, I know I'm definitely gonna get faster than last year, but I didn't know it's gonna be like this bad of a margin. So yeah, this is me, overreacting for me, subbing, 17 minutes for the 5K for the first time in my life, right? Yeah, after 5 years of not beating my record in 2020, I remember that, I get so obsessed about it, and I've been having a lots of issues, in the last 5 years, but now, like I finally got this. So I just think that, like a couple years ago, like a few years ago, like if you would have told me this would have happened, I would have not believed you, man. I'll call you a liar, and I'll be really pissed. And this is just so crazy, man. I'm like, oh my God, man. I'm like, this can't be real, man. I'm like speechless, man. I just could not believe it, man. This is ridiculous, man. This is just ridiculous. And for God's sake, we're not even out of 2025 yet. All the craziness I thought, were gonna happen, I thought it's gonna be like 2026 or much further than that. But this is just too much, man. Oh my goodness, man. And the people say that running is really hard. Like, I thought that they're a bunch of liars, right? Saying that running is ridiculous. Some people don't want to even run at all. Some people hate running, right? But yeah, but too bad I didn't record my run. It's because, yeah, obviously, I just don't want to wear a GoPro in my hand, sometimes feels uncomfortable and all that stuff. But I don't make that type of excuse, right? I mean, obviously, the 5K that I ran was just downhill. This is just my overreaction, right? I get, when you run on a downhill course, it's definitely going to help you run a lot faster, right? Same thing happened with True Hainth, right? This guy just broke a 2:30 marathon, and he's a lot more stockier than I am, right? I mean, yeah, obviously I only run a 5K, so that's why my average pace is a lot faster than his. No, not that much faster, right? But then he also went down like a 3,000, steep downhill. So I talk about other people, it's because, they're the one that got me, motivated to running, right? And I motivate myself, right? So what was my, 5K time? My final 5K time was 16 minutes and 57 seconds. I just barely just got under 17, man. So yeah. You can say that I never ran a 17-minute 5K because it was all downhill, but if this wasn't a race, I actually run a lot faster. Like, I did my research there, right? And I could tell you that if you run with people, when you run by yourself, I try to do everything by myself, and it's so hard, right? So just the other day, remember I recorded on YouTube saying in October, I did run an all-out 5K on the track, right? 12 and a half laps around track, and I end up with a time of 17:05. And now that got me into me wanting to try to break 17, right? Because obviously, if your 5K time gets to within 10 second or 15 second, off 17 minute, then you have a chance of breaking a 17 minute, right? Yeah, I think my fastest 5K, for the longest time was a 17:29. I broke 17:30, back in 2020, but then I never did it again. And then, 5 years later, and then around September or August or something like that, I finally broke 18 minute. And then, I finally broke 17 minute, and I think I peaked about 25 seconds, and I got 17:05. Okay, sub 17, it's gonna happen, pretty much soon. So yeah, let's go over the 5K process of what happened in the past. So if you're wondering how fast is a 17-minute 5K is, that's only that's approximately a 5:28 minutes per mile pace, right? I think according to my Garmin, it was 5:25 or 5:26. I'm mid 5:20s. that's insanely fast. And that average pace was much faster than my mile time, comparing, a couple years ago. It was much faster than that. Like, I couldn't believe I can hold that for like 3 miles, man. It's ridiculous. Obviously, if it's in the race, I probably would have got that time, or maybe even a lot faster, maybe even faster, but I don't say a lot faster, but yeah. I never got my 5K time, in the 16 zones. Like, god dang, it's crazy, man. Right? Yeah, because the reason why I want to get 16 also is because of Tyler Spear, what he did in 2019, right? Tyler Spear, his 5K time was only like 18 something, and then, for the longest time in just 1 year, I heard he dropped to like all the way down to like 16 something. So I'm just like Tyler Spear, that YouTuber that shout him out, right? So how did I do it? And you just have to keep running, keep increasing your mileage and do your easy runs, faster as you get better. And if you feel like running at a certain pace too easy, just increase it by like a little bit, right? And this is what I did, right? So my easy pace used to be like 10 minutes per mile pace, but now it's like all the way down to like sub 8 minutes. Some easy day I even ran like 7:30, like it's like a walk in the park, right? That is insane. And this is how like every time you increase your pace by like 5 or 10 seconds, off, you're gonna feel a lot more difference, right? I'm running like before, I could not sub 17. Like, I just sub 18 just a few months ago, and now I sub 18 again, and it doesn't feel that hard anymore. Like, yeah, but it does, put strain on my body, but not as much as currently a few months ago. Like, without even going all out, without running out of breath, right? So how did I run a sub 17, and what are my splits? So, okay, so for the first mile, I ran, around like 520 minutes per mile, right? It was like a 518, right? I just started off really fast, just to make sure, I'm always on pace. It was mostly, strictly, downhill. I lost lots of, elevation. So that why, the first mile came out to like a sub 520, and that kind of surprised me, right? So like I regulate in the race, right? Running in the race and running, on the windy, and that's another thing, like, it's windy. People don't run fast, on windy day, and I've been following some YouTuber, and they struggle to run really fast is because, the wind just hit them hard, and they had to slow down tremendously, right? But with the downhill, with the wind, it's like, and I don't feel 100%, and they kind of like even it out there, right? So yeah, in the race, I probably would have hit my first mile around 520, right? So, and then I knew that I'm gonna slow down because I get too excited. A lot of people tend to go fast in the beginning, and then then the second mile, I hit around like 528, right? And yeah, starting second mile, like, I feel good, and then second mile is like when I start getting, really tired, right? And then, I hit the third mile, I think I split around like 16 or 16, 17, and then, I just made a dash for a spin. I just like sprinted, and damn, and I just hit right, just dip under 17 minute, man. Like 3 seconds under. It's just insane, how, it's not even like, we're 18 months in, and 18 months ago, my mile time was only like a 550 or 540, right? It was like 546 or 545, right? I mean, a 545 minute per mile pace, if you just run that for 3 straight miles, you're just barely gonna hit under 18. Just to quite be honest, in mathematical perspective, right? If you're just running at that, 1 mile run that I did like 18 months ago, you are not gonna break 70. No way in fucking hell, right? No chance in hell, man. I'm like, I still would have beat you by like over a minute, even if you hold that for a 5K, right? This is ridiculous. And what's my current mile time then? Yeah, it should be in the 455 range or 440. Not 440, but there's some even 440 people that actually struggle to break 17. So I follow some 440 milers, right? So maybe because they don't have good endurance off, and also they're just too young, right? For me, I'm an experienced runner, right? The 5K is so goddamn hard, and people suggest me to run like half marathon or marathon, right? I guess the 5K is so short, you know. They saw me run like real fast and boom, you know, like, yeah, you should try out for a marathon because sometimes when you run too short, this is like you just run out of breath real quick, right? And it doesn't seem that long of a race, right? So yeah, I think I never ran a 5K in my life. I never like really timed it, right? But I think the last time my first 5K race was in 2019 and I ran like a 1901. I thought I ran like 1908 or 1907, but the net time was 1901. And that was in Pleasanton, 2019. And I was a lot more fatigued comparing, today. So, dang, man. And my dad described me, my dad signed me up for that race because I never run in a race before. I never ran that competitive before. And there was only like 5 guys, ahead of me, right? And I was a little bit more chubbier too. So, dang, after that race, like, I was like that tired, man. I was like, that is like, man, I almost killed myself, in that day. And I've been thinking that I'm never going to get faster, right? And then suddenly, like months later, now I just broke 19 minutes, right? 2019 is like when I started going really uphill, right? Started getting 18 minutes. I was averaging like a 6-minute mile pace. Like, okay, that's my potential limit. Like, I'm never gonna get better. But no, man, I was wrong. I look at a few years later now, I remember, the time I got 19 minutes. I remember that guy, that old guy, runs like mid 16 minutes. Like, yeah, he still would have beat me today, but probably not by much. Maybe like 10 seconds. So probably no more than like 20 seconds. So yeah, I mean, there's just levels to this, when it comes to running. There's just levels to this. And also, in 2019, I think I finally run a sub 6-minute mile pace for like over 3 miles, right? And then when 2020 comes, I finally broke the 18-minute barrier, right? For the first time. It was not this year, but I broke it. Then what will happen? And then, 2022 just came by, and I'm running a sub 19-minute 5K, for like 2 times. Sub 38, for the, 10K thing, right? I got a finishing time of 37:59. I'm like, yeah, is this better than, today? Hell no, right? I mean, the 10K is definitely much harder than the 5K, but because I have so much endurance, I don't think I'm going to slow down not that much, right? I mean, a sub 38 comparing to sub 17, I will take sub 17. That is a lot harder because it's going to require a lot more speed and strength. And I think, yeah, like you lose like 5% like every time you double the distance. So if you were to run a sub 38-minute, 10K, which happened in 22, then it's still not as good. That's like running just, 5K just around like 18 minutes. So it's still not gonna go under 17 minutes. It's still not. People run like sub 17 minutes with experience. They're gonna run 10K probably around like less than 36 minutes. Would not be surprising, man. Would not. So yeah. And I say that I will not run, the sub, 6 hour, 100-kilometer run, for like more than 5 miles. I think I can do at least, maybe like 6 or 7 miles. It just all depends, right? But yeah, maybe I can get to at least 5 miles. I say I'll be lucky enough to last like 5 miles in this year, but I'm probably gonna go. Yeah, I probably would have hoped maybe much longer than that. Maybe I can go 6 or 7, but I'm not sure about 10 miles. No, yeah, I should not try that. That's gonna kill my body, man. And then, I get injured, and I do not want to happen again. So even though I've been dealing with, sickness just, like a couple months ago, right? I mean, if I just have a race, either a couple months ago or just now, I still would have a really good chance of breaking 17. I promise you that. Like, this is not a lie at all. So yeah, man, it is what it is, bro. But oh my god, I'm just like talking 15 minutes to myself about this insane challenge, right? And now I'm gonna have to make a video like, how the hell did I get there in the first place, right? I think a lot of people are gonna be surprised, if they've been following my running, if they've been following me. I don't know if this surprised you or not, but if it doesn't surprise you, then explain why, if this isn't surprising, right? Subbing a 17-minute 5K is really hard, man. A lot of people already want to sub 20, right? And they're already happy, right? But for me, I only get happy once I sub 17. I'm like, a 3 minutes difference. Like, think about this, man. There is a gigantic difference, every time you shave up by like 15, 20 seconds off of your 5K, there is a huge difference. Shaving off 3 minutes from a sub 20 minute, 5K is not easy, man. Only very few people can do this, and you gotta be an athlete. You gotta. And I tell myself, like, I have a stinking, crap, depleted body, but I don't know, man, but I don't know what the hell is with this year, man. It's just so crazy, man. I don't know what the hell is going on around here. I don't know, man. Oh my god, look like 2026 is going to be much, much crazier. And I also wanted to break 1640, for, the 5K thing. Because that's the 1,000-second barrier, for the 5K. Well, I don't think I'm likely going to break under 16. I just already broke 17. And why would I want to try again, to run another sub 17? If I just keep doing it again and again, I mean, once you break that barrier, it's just going to happen, over and over and over again. So it's going to be like very repetitive. Like, it's going to get easy at the end, right? Yeah, so I think my biggest goal for this year is to only sub a 5-minute mile and to only run that weird accomplishment that people never heard of, like running 5 miles in just around like 29 minutes, right? That was my original goal for this year. And I couldn't get any happier than that. So yeah, I mean, if you're running like a 550 minutes per mile pace for like only 5 miles, that equates for you to run like maybe 1720 to 1730 for the 5K, right? But it's not gonna bring you down, to a sub, 17, 5K. That's not exactly. So that's what type of running performance that I'm looking in visual perspective, since I'm a runner, right? And I just end up subbing 17, like just out of nowhere, right? I'm like, without that sickness or injury. But injury is just part of sport, if you stay injury free, if you take good care of yourself, and if you, the thing is that you always have to keep healthy. If you just do that, then you will definitely get stronger than you would actually, can comprehend, right? So yeah, this is just nuts, man. So why did I got slower, another thing, like for new viewer, and I have to repeat to you guys, like, why did I gone much slower? Why did I lose a lot more running? Because I got injury in 2023, right? So yeah, because I run too much and run too hard, I push my body way too hard running. Like, this is where, injuries occurs, and then, I start losing a lot of my running fitness, right? So about like 20 months ago or 18 months ago, like, I did sign up for, a 10K race, back in Pleasanton, right? I only ran around like just under 42 minutes, right? I ran a final time of 41, 57 minutes, right? I mean, if you convert that, to a 5K pace, I mean, I could still run a sub 20 minute, 5K, but it'll just be slightly under it. It'll be like close like 1940, 1950, right? I've seen people, who run around like 42 minutes. Their 5K time is like, just under 20 minutes. So I should have signed up for a 5K for like Pleasanton. I wish I can go back type, but oh well, it is what it is, That means that I possibly would have shaved off like 3 minutes, man, in matter of like just like 1.5 years. Like, I lost 3 minutes to a 5K, man, right? Yeah, this is absolutely nuts, man. Like, running is so difficult, right? So I'm just gonna have to end off this video here, and thank you for watching.